Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I am a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is midday in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Do remember though, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab at the top of my Twitch page. Hope you guys and girls are well. We are going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game that we're making. It's available to wishlist now on Steam. Let's just go to Steam. So you can either go to thehouseinthehollow.com and click wishlist game, and that'll take you to the Steam store page, or it should, if I click it properly. There we go. Or you can click the banner in my panels below my stream. Legmog, greetings to you as well, and Smurfberry Barbecue, good to see you. So yeah, you can go to the Steam store page, whoops, and wishlist the game, but it's not due to be released until the end of the year. So we're working on this game in the Unreal Engine 4. You know, I've clicked this 100 times and it still defaults to turning it off. What's going on with Edge? How are you, Legmog, and how are you, Smurfberry? Good to see you guys. So yesterday we were working on the bedroom. Let's just turn game mode on so we can get rid of those icons. And let's just turn it into lit mode so we can get a bit of an idea of what's going on. So yes, all I've done since yesterday's stream is I've swapped out the candle holder here that the angel was holding, because these holders weren't really designed for her and it didn't look quite right, but I did like the idea of having a candle in her hand that Sniper Girl suggested. So I just made a quick candle holder last night and popped it in her hand. So that's the only change. Since and the unit here. Actually, let's just go back into unlit mode. I'll turn my game icons back on and I'll just go play in editor for a minute. So this we were having problems with the doors with this yesterday, and it was my fault because when I designed the doors I made them too long. I jumped into Max and checked my file and the door had actually came all the way to the bottom, which is not right. You don't have a door opening through the base. So Smurfberry says you're maniacal. I'm doing unholy things in Blender. I'm doing unholy things in Blender with Python operators that were not intended to be used this way. Whoa. Smurfberry. You rebel, Smurfberry. Smurfberry says, and it's actually working, so I'm having a bit of an it's alive moment. Well done, Smurfberry. Legmog says, I'm good. I had a pair of jeans which I purchased years ago. For the longest time, I've never been able to fit into the damn things. However, for the first time in forever, I tried them on and got into them. Isn't that a great feeling? Yeah, it is. It's always nice to be able to get into your old pairs of jeans. Well done, Legmog. And Legmog says, on the degree to which I could not fit into those back even in December cannot be overstated enough. Like I couldn't even squeeze into them. Yeah. You know, what I notice as you get older is you put weight on in your butt. I know girls will relate. They put a lot of weight on in their bottom. That's what I found as I got older. I put a bit more weight in my bottom. I couldn't get my jeans up past my bottom. I can now, but... But well done, Legmog. Are you still going to the gym? Smurfberry says, I like pants. I like pants too. We all like pants. Having said that, there are a couple of pairs of jeans I think I've still got from when I was like 18 and I can't get into them. My waist was much thinner after I lost all my weight. Legmog says, and my normal jeans, which even back in December I needed a belt for, now it's just ridiculous. They practically slide right down. Oh no. You'll have to put a couple of new notches in your belt then, Legmog. Well, that's good news though. Well done. It's hard to lose. It's easy to put the weight on, hard to lose it. So that's an achievement. Congratulations. I think you're doing really well. And it's incentive to keep going. That's what I found when I started losing the weight. You know, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're not
this round ball anymore. You can see your waistline going in, and that's incentive to keep going. At least that it was for me. It's the same. Actually, when I gave up smoking, I just stopped full stop. But in the first week was hell. Yeah, it's incentive. So well done. It should keep you motivated to keep going. So yes, the doors, they were too long. That was the problem. Now you see our doors do actually line up with our hinges. And if we jump into play in editor, our doors open. I haven't changed the sound effect for them yet. So there you go. Alrighty. Let's keep going. No problem. And congratulations to you, Smurfberry2, for getting your script to run in unnatural ways. Okay, I think the room here needs something over here to balance up all this stuff we've got going on over here. And we did happen to create, I do happen to have something ready, this Biedermeier style desk. Again, I'm just checking it for comparison. Because we scaled the other objects up and they were all scaled correctly when I imported them, we're going to have to scale this one up just a bit as well. Just to match. And let's rotate it 90 degrees because it's facing in the wrong direction. Not on that angle, on this angle. And we're going to put it between the door and the archway here. Smurfberry says Python is a pathway to many abilities. Some consider it to be unnatural. It's a pathway scripting language, isn't it? That's right. Just like a pathway drug. Being serious for 1 minute. A lot of scripting languages are very similar. So once you know one, you can generally pick up others pretty quickly because they're all pretty much the same, really, to some degree. They all sort of work the same way. So once you've mastered Python, I expect great things from you, Smurfberry. Again, I'm just going to play in editor before I add the doors and stuff to this, just to check the height. Drawers, desk. That should be good. Now the player is not going to be able to open the top drawer because even if we did let them open the drawer, there's no way they could see what's in there because the desk is too high. So that's pretty good, I think. It should be okay. All right, let's start setting this desk up. Now again, you see here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawers either side of the unit here. I'm only going to let the player open up the bottom 4. Again, that's going to be because the player, if I let them open up these ones, they're again not going to be able to see what's inside of them. So it's pointless, really. That's why they're just attached to the unit as one object and the player won't be able to open them. But they can certainly open the bottom 4, they can open the desk drawer, and they'll be able to the desk itself that pulls out, and the doors at the bottom. Drawers, I should say, at the bottom. So let's start setting it up. Bookcase, 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 wardrobe, wardrobe, Biedermeier, large drawers. Let's start down the bottom, alright. Now, again, we're going to have to scale the drawers because we scaled the unit. Now let's rotate it around the right way. Let's get it lined up. I still have to put things in the drawers, but that comes later. That will come after all of the design bits are finished.
Okay, so we need to scale our drawer up a little bit. It's the width I'm really looking for here. That'll, if I get the width right, then the height will be correct. And the depth will be correct. All about the girth, not about the length. So rude. I think that should be okay. We want to make sure that our drawer is not going through our wood, so it needs to come down just a little bit. Smurfberry says, what's dirty? I know I'm terrible. I deserve that slap. I did deserve it. Bad film. Bring it up just a touch. Make sure it's lined up this way, and that looks okay. Alrighty, let's duplicate it. And let's duplicate it again. And that should be good for our drawers. So I'm just going to double check that they work by playing in the editor again. It's a bit hard to see until we get a few more lights happening, but there are our drawers. Alright. So far so good. What do we got next? We've got the Biedermeier single shelf, and that goes in here. Again, we've got to rotate it 90 degrees, making sure the arrow is pointing forward because that's the direction it's going to be moving in. And again, let's scale it. Make sure we've got it in the right spot. It needs to come up just a touch. Oh no, it needs to come down a touch. And maybe over a little bit. No, that's not correct. I think I might have made it a bit big, so I'm just going to scale it back a little bit. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking up here and not down here. Man, let's just undo that scale. Now it does need to come over. Okay, let's push it back. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll place like a clue, a note or something on the desk here. So when the player opens the desk up, they'll see it. Again, let's just do a play in editor to check. Good. And last, we've got the small drawers. which again need to be rotated. Smurfberry says, yeah, a bit of extra light is in order. Yes, it is. We'll be tackling that in a minute. I want to get the furniture in first, and then we'll look at the lighting. Because it's easier, like when we did the bathroom, it's easier to set the room up, put all your furniture in, do all your windows and all that sort of crap. Once you've got everything set up, then you can bring more lighting in. It's easier to sort of like adjust your lighting. You can see what the effect is going to look like a bit more easily. That's generally the way I like to work. Don't question me. Let's scale this up a little bit. Smurfberry says, but I was agreeing with you. That's right. Good to hear. Okay, let's just check that our drawer is about the middle of that hole. Looks good. Let's push it back. So that it's lined up with the other drawers. Again, I'm just checking the size to make sure it's correct. It looks alright. Let's duplicate that drawer. Move it up. Let's duplicate that drawer. Move it over. Again, just as a shortcut for duplicating, instead of right-clicking, you can hold the Alt key. I don't do that because I want you guys to know what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But yep, the Alt key and then click and drag will duplicate as well. Just might move these two up a little bit. And duplicate and move it down. Alrighty, let's make sure that they're even. Yes, let's play in editor and test the drawers.
I can't use that here.
Whoops, sorry about that. I know that was very loud. And again, hard to see because the lighting needs to be done, but they are working. Evening, Sniper Echo. Good to see you, buddy. Sniper says, oh Lord. Sniper says to Smurfberry, hello. It's good to see you, Sniper Echo. So we've got our desk all set up, ready to go. What's next? I'm doing really well, Sniper Echo. Thanks for asking. Yep, no, I'm good. It's all good. Bit of a runny nose, but I think it's because the weather's starting to change here. It's getting cooler. And I've got my kitchen window open, so I've got a cool breeze blowing through the house. It gets really hot between both computers being on and all the lights on because of the camera and the green screen. It gets really warm. But it's giving me a bit of a runny nose. So if I touch my nose a few times, it's just because it's cold. My nose is cold, but I'm good. I'm good otherwise. So yes, we fixed that up. We changed the candle that she was holding to something more appropriate. We put the desk in. Okay, all good. We'll be adjusting the lighting soon, but we'll get some more furniture in first. Let's do the bookcase. So, that's the bookcase door, which I set up previously simply because it took me hours to actually get the scripting done to actually make that work correctly. So I didn't want to redo it on stream. The same with the script. These didn't take as long to script. All of these physics draw things, but I did them off stream as well. And that's just a cobweb. I don't know if you can actually see that on stream, but I do have a cobweb going on up here. And I did place the floor in here as well. And I wanted to make the floor look really old and dusty and dirty, and because no one's been back here for quite a long time. Whereas the rest of the house is clean and new. Behind this bookcase in this hidden room before we get up to the attic. So I've got to cut a hole up here. I'll probably remove that entire square piece of ceiling. I wanted it to be, the floor to be really damaged and old and dirty. But let's bring the bookcase in now. Let's rotate it to 180 degrees because it's not facing in the right direction. This is where we see if all of our careful planning has paid off with making sure everything is the correct size. Oh, would you believe that? That's okay, we'll fix it in a minute. Actually, I think the bookcase might be a bit big. Yeah. It's hitting a wall, so we're going to scale the bookcase down a little bit. I don't want to scale it down too much. Sniper says 1080p just kicked in for me. It's been a year since that happened. What do you mean? Oh well, crisp and sharp. We do have transcoding, don't we, guys? I generally check when the stream starts to make sure transcoding is kicked in. Please tell me we've got transcoding. Yes, transcoding is on. Good. But you're watching me in 1080p, Sniper Echo. What'd you get, new internet? Sniper says, I've been limited to 360p for over a year, only on my stream. Why only on my stream? Why were you limited to 360 and only on my stream? Now it's 1080p all of a sudden. That's weird. Anyway, any of my other viewers that have had that problem, please let me know. I'll try to work out why. That's not right. That shouldn't happen. Sniper says, Jesus, Phil, the house is looking good. Oh, thanks, Sniper. Let's turn the lighting on just for Sniper Echo because he's in his crisp 1080p. But even though the lighting is not correct yet, we've still got to work the lighting out because it's still too dark. But let's just, move around a little bit so Sniper Echo can see it in its 1080p glory. Because yes, I stream in 1080p, but we have transcoding, so you can cut the stream back to the quality that is good for your internet. Sniper says, like, really good? Well, thank you, Sniper. Sniper says, I've no idea why Twitch, I presume. Yeah, that's what I want to know, why Twitch would do that. Sniper says, I know it's happened to people in other streams. Yeah, that's bizarre. I would love to know why Twitch is doing that, if Twitch are doing that. Should not be happening. I mean, you should get the option to transcode down if you want, but you shouldn't be forced to. Okay, now, alright. I thought this was going to happen. When I designed the bookcase, I designed it to be the width of the room, but I hadn't brought in the archways. And obviously what this means is the drawers and the doors on these sides, we're not going to be able to open them because they're actually behind this piece of metalwork. Now, I don't really want to scale the bookcase in. I could. The other option I could do is lock the doors and the drawers on these sides so the player can never open them, so they'll never intersect. Or possibly bring the bookcase forward. But if I bring it forward, we're going to start running out of room quite quickly. Sniper says, yeah, I don't know. Let's just say the game will be a massive reveal for me. That's right. Sniper says, speaking of which, I have another idea for you. I'm all ears. If you guys and girls have any suggestions while I'm working on this game, please feel free to voice them. Smurfberry says, what if you play as a sentinel cheese wheel? A sentient cheese wheel. Oh yeah, that'll be different, that's for sure. A sentient cheese wheel. Now I've got to try and work out what I want to do here. Do I want to bring it forward? Do I want to scale it in? Wonder Weiss, thank you for the follow, Wonder Weiss. I do appreciate it when you follow my Twitch channel. So thank you, Wonder Weiss. Do remember too, if you do want to join the Discord server with the link I've just popped in chat, you can click that. There's a Phil Does 3D Discord server where you can show off your work in the gallery, post to your ArtStation or portfolio, all that sort of jazz, if you so want. You don't have to. Just don't post links in my Twitch chat unless you're a sub to my channel, because you'll be timed out. Only subs can post links in Twitch chat, but everyone can post links in Discord. And welcome, Wonder Weiss. Sniper says, how about a mode you can unlock that lets you explore the house, no storyline, just walk around? Maybe. I'll put that to the guys at the studio, the game studio, and see what they think about that. But that's an interesting idea, Sniper Echo. Why would you buy a game that you can't? Well, I guess you got the option then whether you want to play the game or just explore the area. Having said that, you're not going to be running from a monster or anything. I had one of the questions that somebody posted on the Steam store page for the game in the discussion in the hub was, I'm tired of running and hiding from a monster in a game. It seems that every game that's released these days, you're running and hiding from a monster. Is that the case in your game? And no, the game that the guys and I are making, you do not run and hide from a monster. So it's a much more leisurely paced game. Yeah. So, but that's an interesting idea, Sniper Echo. I'll certainly, like I said, put it to the guys at the studio, see what they have to say. For sure. Now, yeah, what am I going to do here? Am I going to scale in? Am I going to bring forward? Let's try bringing it forward and see if it encroaches too much on the bedroom. I never actually intended to bring it forward. It was always designed to be behind that archway. We'll see. Well, it just fits in the doorway there. That's good. It doesn't encroach on the doorway. It does mean we can open up all the drawers and doors. I'm just worried it's starting to look a bit cramped through here. That's my only concern. It's starting to look a little cramped. Let me just move back and check it out and decide. Spleen Venter, thank you for the follow, Spleen Venter, as well. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. Again, if you do want to join the Discord server, you can click that link in my panels that says join the Phil Does 3D Discord. if you want to post links to your work in the gallery or post links to your art station and stuff. But welcome, Spleen Wiener. Spleen Venter, sorry. Spleen Venter, welcome. I think I got the W from Wonder Weiss before you. I'm getting confused, and let's face it, it's pretty easy to confuse Phil. Oh man. So yeah, I'm just a bit worried that it's looking a little cramped through here. We have a couple of options. We can move a few things around. Like for instance, we could probably put the wardrobe over here, but it's going to be cramped because that's not a very wide space. Sniper says maybe a mode where you can prepare a meal in the kitchen or take a walk in the garden. Yeah, well, that, again, interesting. You're starting to blow out the scope of the game a little bit, Sniper Echo, though. And that feature creep is always a problem with games development. Everyone has wonderful ideas, but implementing them in time is always the problem. But it's a good idea. The kitchen actually isn't in the house yet. There is no kitchen at the moment. That's one of the rooms we're still going to work on. But you do have a bathroom, though. I gave you a bathroom. Smurfberry says, place a phone call to Cooking Mama and she'll come over and you can play cooking in the kitchen. You guys are nuts. Yeah. Don't know. Saute that rice, that's right. Let's just move it back. See, I like the fact that it doesn't make the room look so crowded when it's this far back. That appeals to me. And I did actually have an intention of putting something in the corner here, either a plant or a pillar. We've got a wooden pillar plinth thing that we haven't used yet. So that was always my intention when I was thinking about it in my head, not to have the bookcase that far forward. So, like I said, we can either make it so the player can't open the doors here and here, or we can scale it in a little bit. Let's try scaling it in. It's easy to scale it back. Yeah, it should be easy to scale it back. I just want to see if it stretches it too much and looks odd if we scale it in. Like, I don't want it to look too elongated. That's what I'm trying to say, and not doing a good job of it. But that would mean that we could get to all of our doors and drawers. What do you think? Do you think it looks too elongated? Let's just sort of move back here. Sniper says, I'm not sure I want to prepare a meal in the kitchen. Phil's not done, not in the kitchen, Phil, not the done thing. Not here at least. You don't prepare your meals in the kitchen. Where do you prepare them? Or are you being cheeky? What's she talking about? Let's make sure that it's actually positioned correct. Yep, that's correct. I want this bookcase to be right at the very edge there before we hit the floor behind it. So we need to go up to the line. We need to make sure it's sort of down on the floor and not floating up in the air. Good. Now we just need to check our scaling for this door here in the middle, the hidden door. I'm going to move that in. Sniper says, I meant bathroom. Don't prepare the meals in the bathroom. Ah, man. No, don't prepare meals in the bathroom. The bathroom is not the place to make a meal. The bathroom is the place to have a bath. Not to prepare a meal. Sorry, I'm moving around this to check my my scaling. I think it needs to come in a little bit. Now, I'm hoping by scaling this, it's not going to break all of my scripting, my blueprint scripting. We'll find out soon enough. But I'm going to start by moving the pivot here to the correct spot, which is here. Now remember, we want this doorway to be hidden, so I don't want to do it like that. I don't want a gap. I'm going to make sure it's right up against the edge. Sniper says, good job. Sniper Wrecker says to Sniper, I'm going to leave the rest of this to you. Please time me out. Smurf says, don't leave things in my hands. I can barely brain. We're going to start by scaling this in. Again, I'm going to make sure I'm lined up correctly. Yeah. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? I don't think I am, but I feel like I'm missing something. We're going to scale it up height-wise a little bit. Sniper says, I just mixed up kitchen and bathroom. Now I'm not sure if I've also done that in real life. Oh man, you're trying to cook your soup in the toilet. Ew, yuck. That's nasty. I think it needs to come forward a little bit. So if I get at an angle here where I can see the edge of the bookcase, it'll be easier for me to tell if I'm bringing it too far forward or not forward enough. Sniper says that mental image I did not need. Sniper says, for the love of God, time me out. Okay, now I'm just checking to make sure that everything is lined up correctly. I think it might need to come up just a smidge. A smidge. Just so these decorative horrible head things line up at the base here. Okay. I think we should be good. Good. All right. Now we need to add the doors and the drawers. The doors at the base and at the top so that it looks like one complete bookcase. We also have to put books in it, but we probably won't do that today simply because I want to reuse the books we've got in the rest of the building but I've only redone, I redid one section of books to condense the texture maps so that the draw calls were reduced. I've only done that on one section of books, and I have like 3 different sections of books, and the other 2 I haven't condensed yet. So once we condense them, then the other 2, then we'll place books in the bookcase. But until then, there'll be no books in there. So we'll do that probably after I get back, after next week. We'll place the books in then. But in the meantime, we need to get the doors and the drawers down. So let's have a look here. Where are they? Bookcase lower doors. This is the one, I believe. I can't copy these ones because this is all part of a separate blueprint. So I can't copy just the door like we could with the others. From that, we're going to have to reset it up. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. I'm just trying to work out, okay, which direction it's rotating in. Let's just get it into position before we scale it up. Okay, let us scale it up. A bit too much, let's scale it back a little bit. Oh, we're going to have to scale it in because we scaled the bookcase in as well. So I'm going to have to sort of guess it and then hope that when I duplicate it, it fits. Alrighty, let us duplicate the door. Now again, if you do want to buy and play the game, you probably should not be watching this stream because there are spoilers while I make the game itself. So if you don't want spoilers, you do want to play the game, don't watch the stream. Or if you do want to buy the game and watch the stream, you are going to get spoilers. We need to transform this. I always forget whether it's the X or the Y. I think it's the Y in this one. No, it's the X. Every time. Oh, how's that? Scaled correctly. Or is it? Maybe not quite. Let's just move that in. Let's just move these up. And I'm just going to test these 2 doors before I duplicate them to the other side, just to make sure that they are working correctly. They may not, because I don't remember if no, it's the collision on this mesh, so I need to find that mesh. And just check the collision. That's the reason we can't. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove the collision on this. And I'm going to change it in the properties here. Like I could go through and I may actually might be better actually. Let's do that. I was going to use, instead of simplified collision, you can use complex collision. Probably not necessary though. It's a bit more fiddly using simple collision because we're going to have to do it by hand. That's okay, we can do it by hand. So I think what I'll do then is I'm going to turn on simplify collision and I'm going to add a box collision. Okay, that's not what we want because it's covering the entire bookcase and we've got a doorway here. So first thing I need to do is select the collision object, scale it in, move it over, check our collision. It's okay on the width. But collision like this will stop us from opening the doors. So we need to just pull the collision back a little bit. It's a bit too high, so let's pull it down a little bit. Okay, let's go back to our collision here and we're going to duplicate the selected collision and we'll move it over here. Again, I just got to make sure it's not too far forward. Actually a bit too thick as well, so I'm going to scale it in. Might scale it in a bit more. Pull it forward just a little bit. Now let's do the same on this side because it's a bit too thick as well. Alrighty, so collision on that one, collision on that one. We don't have to worry about collision up here because the player will never get up there. Pointless. Pointless putting collision in an area that the player will never reach. I may have to come back and redo the collision because if we place objects in here and if the object is actually inside of the collision volume, you're not going to be able to, the player won't be able to pick it up. But we'll tackle that when we start populating items inside of the bookcase. For now, that should probably work for what we want. So let's play in editor again and test. Again, I know it's very dark and hard to see, but our doors open up. That's all we wanted to test, so now we can copy those doors to the other side. I'm just making sure that they are positioned correctly. Yep, no, that looks fine. Good. Alright, let's bring in the doors at the top now. So we want wardrobe upper doors. Sorry, bookcase upper doors. Not wardrobe, bookcase. Again, we have to rotate it. Position it. scale it. Just a little bit more. Oops. Scale it in this way because it's a bit too wide. Move it forward a little bit because it's a little bit too far into the bookcase. Actually, alright, I was trying to work out what was going on here. It's a little bit too wide, so we need to scale it in a little bit. Just move that back in there so I can get my scale correct. I'm looking at this door as a reference, so I know what to do for this one, because this is the one I've already done. Okay. Now we just need to duplicate it. We need to mirror it. Was it the Y or the X? It was the X, wasn't it? And we'll just get our door open before hitting that wrought iron on the side, which is good. Okay. Again, let's just test that these doors will open correctly. Again, you see in the reflection, you can actually see outside the building because I don't have any reflection captures in here yet. We'll fix that up too in a minute. But the doors open and close, so that's what we want. So let's duplicate these two. And move them down. Good. So now we've got our bookcase there with our hidden door. Let's just test the hidden door, shall we? We haven't tested the door itself yet. So again, let's play in editor. Head over to our doorway. And we have a hidden door in our bookcase. That we can't get through. It's simply, I think, because of the collision again. So let's just check the collision on the doorway itself, which is this one. Yeah, and again it's the collision, so let's just make some adjustments to the collision here. Pull it in to make it smaller. Save that. And now we can get inside the room. All good. Alrighty, now that's all very well and good, but the player will look at this and see there's an area back here. What's going on? It's not a very good hidden door if the player can see back into the room, is it? So let's fix that up. What we're going to do here is we're going to copy our paneling. So let's select these two pieces of paneling. Let's duplicate it. Actually, we're going to do it a different way. We're going to select one of these pieces, one of these halves, and duplicate it. So I need to allow for the doorway. So let's rotate it. You'll see that the back paneling piece here is see-through because, again, to save on polys, even though it's only a couple of tries, the back face has no polygons, only the front does. And let's move that in so it lines up just behind the bookcase. Should reach the ceiling, and it does. Good. Just trying to work out if I need to scale it in a little bit. I think it does need to come in just a smidge. Make sure it's actually touching this wall. Actually, let's undo that scale in. I may need to scale it out because I didn't have it in close enough to the wall as it should have been. We're going to have to look at this wall in a minute because it's not lining up correctly now. We'll fix that in a sec. But we need to make sure the width is correct for the doorway, and the doorway is here. So it needs to be scaled out just a touch. These small adjustments to scale, the player will never realise. They won't notice. As long as they're small, people won't notice. Again, I've just got to make sure I'm not going into my wall too much. Okay, let's duplicate that. Bring it over. Oh man. Bring it over. I see. So our curtain is actually in the way here. Right. So let's move this forward. Make sure we're lined up with the wall. Oh, but because we brought that one forward, and I'm just looking at the back here, it gives me a better idea of where the actual doorway is from behind. That means we need to bring this one forward. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to bring these two back. These are the lower sections of the wall. Because they're never seen from this side, they're being hidden behind the bookcase. I'm going to rotate these 180 degrees. And these ones I'm going to scale down a little bit so they're not quite as high. We're sort of making it fit. They weren't designed for behind the bookcase, but we're going to make them fit. Oops. Okay, so we need to copy it one more time. Move that one into the middle here. So we'll concentrate on the front first, then we'll move to the back and fix that up. It does mean I just need to scale these in just a tad. Move these two over just a little bit. Scale these two back again. Actually, scale these three so that they all stay the same width. That's good. So now from the front, the player has no idea that there's actually a room back there. Of course, we're going to put books in. But let's fix the paneling on the back wall now. So that's the doorway. We don't want to put anything in here. But we do want to select these three. Duplicate them again. Rotate them 180 degrees. Need to bring them forward. Bring them down. Scale them up. Line them up. Not quite, just needs to be a little bit higher. Just a touch. That's better. So this is from the back that we have the room here, and again, what I will cut out that top part of the ceiling before we put the stairwell in, so the player can get up to the attic. But let's frame this doorway so it looks a little bit nicer. So first things first, I'm going to do a quick save because we don't want to lose the work we've done. Now I do have, I want to frame this doorway, and I'm going to frame it with some columns. Sort of going to have to position it here with the door in the way, but that's okay. Just needs to be wide enough to cover the paneling. Let's bring in the capping stone, which is this one.
I just need some time now to get things clear now, to get rid of my doubts.
You'd almost think I'd planned this out ahead of time, wouldn't you?
I just need some time now to get things done now. Things I love, things I want. I do it.
Smokeberry says you'd almost think that you would. You would almost think that. I'm just going to scale the capping stone in a little bit.
Who's next to you? I do what's best for me and best for
I wouldn't, but you might. That's what Smokeberry says. You know me too well, Smokeberry. You know I'm not that organised. No, actually I am. I am that organised, actually. I'm going to scale these up just a little bit because I just want a little bit higher. Before I duplicate it, I'm going to bring in the capping stone, which is not the capping stone, but the capping top, which is this piece here. Now again, these are not my assets. These are from Quixel. The column, the capping stone, and this wooden block, this stone block are from Quixel. Free to download and use if you're making an Unreal game, because Epic Games purchased Quixel. And I thought, well, let's take advantage of these Quixel assets while we have access to them for the game. We may as well. So I don't want to take credit for somebody else's work. These assets are not mine. Just the stones here. Everything else is mine. Let's bring it in a little bit. Make sure we're lined up correctly before I start moving my pillars. Okay, let's scale these up a little bit. Might have scaled it up just a bit too much.
What if everybody's used to their own feature? What if we get nothing more than this?
Alrighty. Let us duplicate this.
Remember what I said about magic. Remember what I told you about us.
Now, before I get too carried away, I'm going to check that the player can still fit through the doorway. So let's jump back on this side and do a play in editor. Euro, hello to you as well, Euro. Good to see ya. I love the emote as well. It's cool. It's good to see you, Euro. So let's just do a play in editor and test if we can get through the doorway. I know it's dark. I'm sorry for that. We'll fix that in a minute. We are getting stuck now. I think we're getting stuck because of collision on the columns. So let's just check that. So let's have a look at the column here. Turn collision on, and yeah, so you see the collision is way too wide really. So it's unnecessary too to have collision that's cut like that. So I'm going to remove the collision and add box collision. Box collision will be fine. We're just going to scale the collision in. We don't need it to be that wide. Just needs to collide, just to cover the actual pillar in the middle itself. Always end up moving the wrong thing. That should be fine. That's all the collision we need. Now, while I'm here, I'm also just going to check the collision on the capstone. That should be okay. Again, we could make it a box collision if we wanted to reduce it a little bit, but it's not going to slow the engine down dramatically. Having a couple more polys for the collision there. Dev Donut says, "Who's Phil?" Well, Dev Donut, welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm Phil. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, phildoes3d.com. So my Twitch username, put a .com on the end. You can read up all about me here and find out who I am. Look at my social media, all that sort of jazz. My gallery, my art station. But welcome, Dev Donut. Yura says, one day engine developers will make a gizmo that actually behaves like a 3D sweet gizmo. One day. They will, won't they? Dev Donut says, hi to you too, Dev Donut. Good to see you. Smurfberry says, Artsday. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Smurfberry. There's a link to my ArtStation if you want to check out some of my work, though not all of my work is on ArtStation. Just some of it. So we're going to do a play in editor again, and we're going to test our doorway to see if we can get through it now that we've made those adjustments to the collision. Sorry, I'm thinking that's a locked door. These doors we can open. I'm thinking, why is it making that noise? That's the lock noise, but it's because I'm not hitting the actual hidden doorway itself. And we're still getting blocked. Why is that? Let us see. Why would I be being blocked? What's blocking me? Shouldn't be that. I'm just going to turn collision on here so I can see. Okay. We are being blocked by... Are we? It's not the collision on the columns. It's not the collision on the capstone. Euro says I made a bunch more models with parametrics today. Kind of liking the speed of that workflow, even though they're fiddly to rig. I'm not familiar with parametrics, Euro. What is it? What's this parametrics you speak of? Explain. Yeah, I'm not familiar with parametrics. I don't recognize the name anyway. I'm just trying to work out what this collision here is from. What is this collision? This collision, I can see that. I'm trying to work out what it belongs to. Goes. Not sure what that is. It's probably hard for you guys to see too with collision turned on, the collision boxes, but I can see them. They're these like light purpley colour. They are very subtle though, so. We just need to bring these panels forward too because our bookcase is just sticking through a little bit, but it's distracting me. It's collision I'm looking at the moment. Smokeberry says non-destructive parametric modelling. Okay. Usually used for like CAD stuff. Right. Yep, no, I'm familiar with what you mean now. I'm just being distracted by trying to work out what this collision object is. I'm wondering if it's the actual doorway. Again, I'm just going to check that doorway. The hidden door here. Shouldn't be. The doorway should be fine. That shouldn't be the issue. So it's something else. What? Again, I'm going to check the bookcase itself. Again, it should not be the bookcase. I don't see an issue there. So that's okay. So it's not the bookcase. So what is that? I can see the collision box here. Again, you may not see it on stream because it's very, very faint. And I just can't work out what it belongs to, what the collision of that object is. What could it be? It's quite high. That's very strange. Got to work it out though, otherwise the player won't be able to get through the door. It's not the panelling. It's not that. I would say it was the bookcase because it's about the same height as the bookcase, but I don't think it is. Something else. Euro says it's used for ArchViz too. It's kind of neat for doing lots of repetitive geometries. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about now. I had a brain meltdown, or a brain fart, as Smokeberry would say, for a minute. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly what you're talking about. I'm just getting caught up in trying to work out what this collision object is that's blocking me. Unless the columns... No. Let's see if it's the actual columns. What I'm going to do is move the columns for a second. It's going to push them further into the wall. And just do another test in the editor. Yeah, no, it's not the columns because I still can't get through. Something else is blocking me. So let's just move our columns back. It's something else. Something. What could it be? It's got to be something that we added though, because we could get through before we added the columns and the capping stone. Although we didn't test it after we added the paneling. Let's just check the paneling. Let's see what the collision is on the paneling. Yeah, it shouldn't be the paneling. The collision on the paneling is very tight, so that shouldn't be an issue. Okay. So it's not the paneling. What does that leave? Not a lot. Euro says, make your base mesh shapes, throw down a spline, rig operators, adjust parameters, and bam, assets. Asset. Euro says, with the stuff I'm working on, it's the only way I'm staying sane. What? I've got to work out what that collision is for. There is nothing I can see here that collision could be for. Again, I'm going to check these archways as well. These actually don't have simple collision. I think they've only got complex collision. Actually, they don't have any collision because they're too high. Unnecessary because the player will never get up there. Let me double check these. I think these are the same. They don't have collision either. Yep. No collision, so it's not those. Maybe that bit above the door is Euro's suggestion. You're talking about the plinth here, this thing. It's not that either. We will double check, but I'm sure it's not that. Yeah, no, that's okay. That shouldn't be blocking us. It's something else. It's not the doorway, because I checked that. It's not the paneling, because I checked that. It's not the columns or the capstone. I checked the bookcase, so it's not the bookcase. That is really strange. I can see it. I can see the collision, but I can't tell what the collision belongs to, because you can't just select the collision object, unfortunately. You can see the collision, but you can't select the collision. And there is something that is throwing collision right across that doorway. What could it be? Smurfrey says, time to start hiding assets. Yeah, actually that's a good idea. That is a good idea, Smurfberry. Unfortunately, it does not hide the collision though. So if hiding the asset hid the collision, that would be wonderful, but it doesn't. So it's not really going to help us find out what that collision belongs to. Nice thought. What is that collision from? It's got to be something relatively new. I can see the collision shape. It's a very strange shape, actually. What could it be? Why do I think it's the doorway? No, it can't be the doorway. We tested it before we put the columns in and we could get through, so... Look, I'm going to just to do another test here, I'm going to move these way out of the way. Just to make sure it's not the columns. I'm sure it's not, but we will double check. Let's play in editor again. The joys of games development. I need to get in here and open my door. Look, now I can get through. So, it is something to do with the columns. Okay, well, we're narrowing it down. Progress. What could that be? I'm going to move these back into where they were. It could just be that the distance here is just a bit not quite wide enough for the player to get through. So I don't want to move these columns out anymore. We could move them out maybe a little bit. I'm just going to turn collision off here because I know what's going on now. We can maybe move these in a little. We'll see how we go. That means let's make the capstone a bit wider. Just going to make it wider this way as well. Okay, let's test it again. And I can't get through again. I'm being blocked. Alright. I'm sick of messing around with this. Let's jump back to the column. Look at the collision. I don't see why this collision would be blocking anything. It's pretty much... Well, we're going to remove the collision. Save the asset. Let's test it again. And I still can't get through, so it's not the columns. Okay. Must be the capstone. I'm going to do this. Do we even have collision on the capstone? Yeah, we do. We don't need it because the player's never going to get near it. Let's remove the collision from the capstone. And now I can get through. So it's a capstone. For some reason, the capstone collision was misbehaving. Anyway, we worked it out. That's the important thing. So that probably means I can move these columns back in again a little bit. Do I want to do that or not? No, we'll leave them where they are for the moment. We'll see how we go. Smurpery said, how big is the collision on that Quixel stone? Sorry, I just read the message, so you're probably right, Smurpery, that something was wrong with the collision on the on that Quixel stone. It's tight, Euro says. Smurpery says, I knew it. You did know, Smurpery. Euro says it was wobbling a bit in the asset viewer. Euro says, no, that's just the fact that I'm running in DirectX 12 mode. That wobbling is just a visual artifact of running in DirectX 12 in Unreal, because it's relatively new to Unreal, DirectX 12. So the Epic is still working on it. So it does give you a bit of a visual glitch in the editor. Sometimes, like the ground will flicker, but that's just a visual thing. So yes, it was a collision on the capstone. For some reason, even though the collision was pretty tight around the stone, maybe it was the height, maybe our character's head was just hitting it. Maybe. It's cursed, that's right, Smurfer. Okay, this is all well and good. Let's bring in something else. So let's try this ram's head, because you know, this is supposed to be leading up to the attic where he keeps all of his occulty stuff, so let's put a ram's head above the door as well. Because why not? Because we can. Just because we can. Again, the ram's head is not my asset, it was downloaded from Quixel. So again, I'm not taking credit for other people's work. I can use it and download it for free because I'm making a game in the Unreal Engine. But yes, it's not my asset. Everything else in the level is, but not the ram's head here, and not the pillars, and not the capstone. They are from Quixel. Put it around about the middle of the door. Good, creepy enough. Yura says, I bet it's like that one stray vert. We got there in the end. We worked out the problem. That was the important thing. Yeah, just want to make sure that these columns are correct now that we've moved them. And I've sort of got to do it while the doorway's in place because they're being hidden. But that should be alright. Okay, so we have our hidden room back there. I will be cutting out the hole in the ceiling so that we can put stairs in to take us up to the attic when we start working on the attic. We do want to bring some lights in here, so let's copy one of the wall sconces here. Move it down. Into about the middle. Okay. We could probably put another one of those lights here if we wanted to. Yeah, we might do that. Let's duplicate it again. Bring it forward, rotate it around. Move it back. Make sure it's in the middle. Let's just turn on lit mode in here. Okay. Now we need to hide this plant coming through the wall. It's this palm tree here. Now, because all of these are actually instance meshes now right throughout the building, I can't move them, which means I can't really move the palm. I can try and rotate the palm so that the leaves don't go through the wall. It's going to be difficult though because the palm spreads out quite a lot. So what we can do is we can hide it. So I'm going to jump back into my which do I want to use? I should have a prefab here. I'm pretty sure I made a prefab. If not, we'll just remake it. But I should have a prefab for the potted palm trees. Got them with that pot, and I've got that pot with that monstera, but I'm sure I do have a prefab somewhere. So yeah, these are our books, but I've only consolidated one bunch. I've still got to do the other two before we can start filling our bookcase with books. No, it's not there. You know, it doesn't look like I do have a prefab, which is very odd. I'm sure I did. That's okay. We can remake it. So okay, I'm just double checking it's not in a folder it shouldn't be in. No, the eagle is still there. The eagle we killed. Just looking for the pot. Actually, I do have some new pots we created for the bedroom. I could use one of those. Let's have a look at that. Scale it up. I was going to put another one of these decorative pots in there, but we could probably use one of these ones we made for the bedroom anyway. We may as well. Let's rotate it. Let's move it. Now I did actually create a dead palm, which I thought might be interesting for the for in this room, because this is hidden behind the bookcase and no one's been in to water the palm. I'm just not sure whether I'm going to use the dead one or use a live one. Let me just rotate this. Scale it. We're going to use the palm here to hide the fact that the palm tree is going through the wall. Let's throw some soil in the pot. Because even if it's dead, it still needs soil. Let me rotate it around. Wrong way. Not hiding the green as much as I'd hoped it would, which is why we may have to swap it out for a living palm. Just going to go into play in editor mode and have a look. Yeah. It's sort of hidden, but it'll be hidden. It would be hidden a lot more if we used a living palm. So let's find our palm tree. Which is one of these two. And we're going to replace the actor with that one. Now the fact that we've got those leaves popping through the wall is not going to be noticed by the player. It's being hidden by the other green palm in front of it. Might just move these over a little bit. Make sure we're not coming through here. Again, if we do, it's going to be hidden by this palm tree. Even though I did allow a gap for all of this sort of stuff, I should have designed these palms in Speed Tree with one side that was like straight, so we could put it up against a wall. The Spaceman. Hello to you as well, the Spaceman. Good to see you. The Space Human. I can't read. I tell you. Oh man. And good to see you, the Space Human. I hope you're well. So yeah, we can hide that with this palm tree here. Alrighty. All well and good. So now, let's move to actually adding plants, because you know me, I love plants. Any room looks good with plants. So we're going to... I really wish I could find that prefab. I'm sure I had it somewhere. Can't believe I can't find it. Anyway, we're going to add a palm tree maybe here. I just want to make sure I allow enough room for the player to get through. If we put one there, it should be alright. So let's find the pot. I want that decorative pot. Do you think I can find it? Not on your light. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I want this decorative pot. It's too big, so let's scale it in. Just to get an idea of scale, I'm going to just move it outside near one of the other pots so I can make sure that my scale is correct. And unfortunately I can't just copy the scale value from this because this is an instance, a hardware instance. So all of those pots within the entire building have been instanced. So we've got to sort of do it by eye. little bit more. Doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same, but we'll try and match it up as best we can. I wouldn't have to do this if I had a prefab. I thought I did have a prefab, but I can't find it, so maybe I didn't. That should be good. Pay no attention to that eye floating there. Do not look at that. That's part of another puzzle for the building. You didn't see it. Let's move this pot over into this corner. Now we're going for time. Okay. I want to try and get it in as far as I can in this corner, because I don't want to block the player from coming through here. I don't think we can get it in any further than that. No. Let's rotate it around so we can see the little heads on the side. Makes it look more interesting. A little demon head. Let's bring some soil in. Smurfberry says baby demon head. That's right, it's a baby demon head. Those baby demons. Gotta watch those baby demons. Even though it does have a beard, so it's a very advanced baby with a beard. Okay, let's bring in a palm tree because palm trees are nice. I like palm trees. Again, if I can remember where I put the palm. Let's look at this one. Let's scale it up. I want to make it a feature in the room, so I want it to be quite big. Again, we're sort of comparing it to the palm on this side. Pay no attention to that. That's just the cloth physics acting up. I'm just jumping between here so I can gauge our size, our height of our palm tree. Should be good. Let's just rotate it around a little bit. Make sure our palm is sitting correctly in the pot. I believe I put violets in these pots as well. Yeah, I did. Again, I can't just copy and paste the violets because they're part of hardware instance as well. See, it selects all of them. So I'm going to have to place our violets, try and find our violets. There they are. Once I get this set up though, I might make, if I need to create another copy, I'll turn this into a prefab. Let's duplicate the violets. Also just going to rotate them so people don't notice it's just a copy and paste from the other bunch. And we might create one more duplicate for this side here just to fill it out a bit. And the same deal, we'll just rotate it around. That's good. You got to shoot up? No problem, Sniper Echo. Thanks for being here. Remember, I'm not streaming next week. I'll be back the week after. So next week, the studio is sending me interstate, but I'm back the following week. So just next week, I'm off. But I'll see you in after next week, Sniper Echo. You have a good night, good weekend as well. And thanks for popping in. Okay, so that's all well and good. Let's just turn lid on, even though we still need to work on the lighting. I just want to get an idea for what's going on. That's a reflection in that. I'm thinking, what's that over there? It's just reflecting the ground. We need to bring in reflection captures as well. We haven't done that yet. So we still do have. We created this wooden pillar. We haven't used this yet either. We really should. Just going to scale it up a little bit. Because we textured it up, we may as well use it. We can use it in other parts of the building as well. It's a sort of object that can be used in a lot of different rooms. I'm just trying to work out the best spot to put it. Because we don't want to overfill the room. There's already a lot going on. Maybe over in this corner, just in front of the bookshelf. Again, I just need to make sure when we open this door it doesn't intersect, and that shouldn't. It's far enough away that the door won't hit it. Just undo that move. I'm just going to play in editor so I can gauge the height here. I think it can be a little bit bigger. You don't want the particle effect. Maybe about that high, might be a bit bigger. Let's pull it back a little bit. Let's put a pot on it. Let's go with maybe this pot. It should be good. Actually, I might just scale it back a little bit. I think it might be a little bit big. Let's put a plant in the pot. Let's go with let's go with maybe the dog rose. Again, these plants are speed tree plants that I created, so they're going to move with the wind. This actually was designed for outside, that's why the base here is quite wide, and it's going to be really hard for me to sort of fit it in the pot without the thing sticking through it. So I may have to choose a different plant. Let's try one of the azaleas. Let's try this one. We don't need to put dirt in this pot because the pot is too high for the player to see inside of. Let's rotate this azalea bush around. And again, the door will open, but you won't notice it intersecting the edge of that plant, so that should be alright. I'm just going to play in editor so I can check the height. Again, it's hard for me to see, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a candelabra here. Because you can never have too many candles. See you, Smurfberry. Ship it. Thanks for being here, Smurf. So I'm just going to duplicate this candelabra. Again, I want to make sure it's not part of a hardware instance. No, it should be good. And I want to move it into this corner. Again, making sure we're not too close so that the player can open up those cupboard doors. You want to move it over. Not too much, not inside the curtain. Again, let's move it up so it's not in the floor. I'm just going to turn lit mode on so we can see what's going on. I think that might be a little high, so I might just reduce the height of that other. Reduce the height of these, I think. Move this in a little bit. Let's turn lit mode back on again. Alright. Now I know that the room is still dark. Now I know that because we still need to bring in, if we jump back into the bedroom and I open up my light, we still need to bring in these hanging lights. That's what we're going to be placing inside the room to actually light the room up itself. But I think we might have to wait until next week to do that. Let's do a quick save. And sorry, not next week, because I'm off next week, but the week after. So when I come back, not next week, the week after, we will finish up the bedroom. Not a lot to do. We're just going to put the hanging lights in. Put the reflection captures in. And I might just add a couple of plants here and there, or pots. But that's pretty much it then for the bedroom. Then we can start working on the study. But I do want to thank you guys and girls very much for being here, for hanging out with me and for watching. I will be back again, not next week, but the week after. So I stream every Monday, Tuesday. I won't be streaming next week on Monday and Tuesday, but I'll be back the week after. I'll post to my Twitter page to remind you guys I'm not streaming next week, and I'll also post to Discord. But yes, no streams next week, but back to normal schedule the week after. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week. That's not what your streams say, I know. Well, you know what they're like. They send me away. You know, they send me into state occasionally. So yes, I know my stream schedule says I'm streaming next week, but I'm not. So pay no attention to the schedule on the Discord. There is no streams next week, but there are back again the week after. We should be back to our normal schedule after that. Unless they decide to send me into state again for some reason. You know what they're like. They send me away all the time. They want to get rid of me. So yeah, no streams next week. No stream on Monday, Tuesday next week, but back the week after. So what date is that? Let's just double check. So no stream on Monday the 2nd or the 3rd of March, but stream on the 9th and the 10th again. So there you go. You guys and girls, have a great weekend, great week. Stay safe, and I will see you all in a week's time. You guys take care. See you guys.